Hello everyone. Today our Professional Week corporate team will introduce our project Social Good in Disabilities. Here are our team members. Nowadays, people with disabilities are under stress due to demographic changes, aging populations, and chronic disease. Around 15% of the world's population has disabilities, including 93 million children and 720 million adults with several functional difficulties. Two aspects from disabilities have received serious attention globally. These abilities are human rights concerns since disabled people are most likely to face discrimination. Statistics Ontario shows only 1 out of 6 people with disability receives assistance. The reasons include the lack of government funds, the inconvenience of the disabled themselves, and the reluctance of carers to accept in-adult subsidies. Therefore, government aid is crucial for the disabled. They frequently experience violence, project, and deprivation of autonomy. Secondly, the disabled often do not receive the necessary health care. 1/3 of those without disabilities can afford health care, but half of the disabled cannot. They may also have difficulty receiving health care due to insufficient skills of healthcare providers. Statistics show that disabled report inappropriate treatment 4 times more often and deny health care nearly 3 times more often. The living conditions for people with disabilities are worse than those for non-disabled people, including inadequate food, poor housing, and unsafe water. Healthcare, system technology, and other personal support services may also be more expensive for them. For government, our goal is to provide information that helps them to spend their money where it is needed most, which is in the cities with the most disabilities. For caregivers, we aim for the government to improve the factory, including caregivers. For the disabled themselves, we aim to encourage them to accept the support and better integrate into society, as well as participation more in disability assistance. We will explain more later. As a result, our group's purpose was to visualize the cases of disabilities in Ontario. Our data analysis followed this statistical process. Since the disabled experience a difficult situation, we have to answer 3 questions. Then, we did the background research and conduct our hypothesis. Our 3 questions are first, which region received the most and least assistance for people with disabilities over a select time period? Second, what kind of disabled people receive support? Finally, how can these caregivers be supported? Next, our partner will introduce the presentation of the visualization.
Hello everyone, I'm Wei Yang. I'm going to show our team's product. Our interactive visualization is about Ontario disabilities for information. The visualization has 2 interfaces. The first one contains 4 diagrams and focuses on the information about disability cases. The second one has 2 plots, which focus on information about disabilities for workers. In the first interface, the 4 plots are linked by year and specific city. At the top of all the graphs, as shown here, there is a timeline that can be selected according to the desired range of years. Then we can draw down to see usage of each graph. We can see that the number of disabilities in the city is presented by the size of the dots, which has a legend on the upper right corner of the map, showing the number of cases by sliding up and down. When the mouse hovers over on a particular city, the name of the city and its number of cases are displayed. When the mouse clicks on a city, the linkage of other 3 plots realized, showing the information of this city. Of course, it doesn't matter if you don't use a year. These 4 charts will show data based on all years. After selecting the city and the year, the linkage effort of next 3 plots will be shown correspondingly. The main link for the disability themselves. First, the bubble here starts with a graph showing the number of cases change over years. There is a select button which allows the viewers to select specific information they want, including how number of cases change over years depending on the gender or the family type. Click on any element on the legend next to the bubble, and the bubble will show only the information about the corresponding category. We can hover over any bar for more specific information on numbers. In the two plots below, the line plot on the left shows the percentage of people with disabilities who receive help over years, and the box plot on the right shows how long different people with disabilities receive help. Likewise, where at any point on lines will display its corresponding more specific information. By having these three pictures on the right, we can encourage them by showing them the information of these disabled people who have received assistance and tell them that there are many other people in their situation who have received assistance. Here is the second interface. There is two pie chart, mainly to show the change in the benefit provided by the government to support workers looking after disabilities from 2012 to 2018. Similarly, here you can see the corresponding detail on any block. These two graphs exist to solve both the government and caregiver problem. For the government, let them see the information on the benefit and realize that although benefit has gone up, more than 3/4 of caregivers are not receiving benefit. It helps them to improve the facilities, including caregiver subsidy. Also, we encourage having more caregivers by showing them that government subsidies are increasing for supporting disabilities.
Our visualization is at the Ontario government and people with disabilities, people who care about disability groups. They should have a brief understanding of Ontario disability benefit after reading the visualization. We conduct background research to answer previous questions. The uneven distribution of population in cities results in a variation in disability numbers. We hypothesize that with limited resources, more people with disabilities would not be able to receive effective help in cities with large populations. Also, we noted that before 2010, there was more reporting about people with disabilities who couldn't get help. So we are some disability assistance is improving year by year. We will use three data sets in visualization. The first data set is from Data Ontario, disability benefit in Ontario from the Ontario Disability Program from 2003 to 2022. This data set provides gender, house type, allowing us to analyze how people with disability access benefit. The second data set is from Statistics Canada on the total number of people with and without disabilities in 2017. The third data set, we have the situation of caregivers receiving federal tax credits from Statistics Canada in 2012 and 2018. We can use this to study the benefits of caregivers who help people with disabilities. Our project began with a map showing the location and the number of cases in different cities indexed by the size of dots. Second, we plot the number of disability support cases over time using a bar plot. Since year is a categorical variable and case is a numerical variable, bar plots can reflect tree significantly. The number of cases for different gender and families is shown in a color-coded bar plot over time. Color hue can figure categorical attributes that belong to identified channels. Moreover, we use line plot to show over time how many people with disabilities receive assistance. Using a bar plot was also considered, while the line graph shows over time tree clearly. Next, we use box plot to compare cases under different assistant direction. As assistant direction is a categorical attribute, side-by-side box plot can be used to compare maximum and minimum value among different categorical. Finally, we use two pie charts to show the federal tax credit situation in 2012 and 2018. Pie chart at the best choice since the data are percent. The pie chart convert more information intuitively than a different colored bar plot. Our previous hypothesis is disproved by the result, which show a higher percentage of people with disabilities are helped in Toronto. In essentially all cities, this visualization shows that the percentage of people with disabilities receiving help is increasing. It shows that the government can maintain the good aspect of the current system. There is a limitation in that we assume the number of people with disability is the same in each region as in 2017 because the number of people with disability increase each year, and the proportion of people with disability assistance may vary depending on the number of people with disability. The curve might be imprecise. Additionally, since tax credit assistance to the caregivers occurs every 5 years, we only include the data from 2008 to 2012 and 2013 to 2018. There aren't very convincing changes between these two time periods. Thank you for watching our presentation today.